What is going on, guys? It's Justin from the J Media back with another video. Today we have another special car feature and we are featuring my buddies Acura or Honda, depending on which part of the world you're from, NSX over here. If you don't mind, share with people who you are, what this car is, and what this car means to you.
Yeah, my name's Kavao, and this is a 1991 Acura NSX. It's been badged as a Honda. Originally a Canadian car. I think it's number 257 for that year. And in Japan, these were all branded as Hondas. Of course, in the US and Canadian market, they were Acuras. This car, essentially, what it means to me is, man, growing up in the late 90s and early 2000s, the JDM cars ruled the import scene. And I just remember between the Type R, the S2000, the NSX, this is one of the cars that every kid had in their room on the wall as a poster, right?
Yep.
And it was dubbed the Honda supercar, you know, meant to
Beat Ferrari.
Dethrone the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, and I've always wanted one, and I spent the better part of the last roughly 3 to 4 years looking for the right car. I was fortunate enough to find this one for the right price. It's got a little bit higher mileage, but my intent with this car is to, I just want to drive it. I love taking this car on spirited drives. I drop my kids off to school in it.
That's awesome.
It's not a garage queen, man. So higher mileage doesn't scare me. A lot of the basic maintenance that's been done over the last 6 years. I plan to do a lot more maintenance to it, refreshing the motor, seals, some dress-up kits. So I am the third owner, and the previous owner before me actually did a lot of what you see here. I will be doing I have done major service work, but I will be adding, carbon fiber accent pieces, and I will start to go with more lightweight modifications. So for the battery, I am gonna swap out to an anti-gravity battery.
Nice.
It should save me about 15 pounds, 20
That's
pounds.
crazy.
Yeah.
So light.
I'll go with the NSXR carbon fiber bonnet style hood. At some point it saved weight. We will, I'll be adding a lot of carbon fiber accent trim. These Recaro seats will go out for the lighter weight NSXR style replica seats at some point.
So backtrack a little bit. So for those people who don't know, right? You mentioned NSX, NSXR. So like you said, if you're a Honda guy, this is the epitome of a Honda car, pretty much, right? And for those who don't know, this car in this NA1 generation, what motor does it come with? How much power output from the factory? Yeah,
so this comes with the V6 and the first generation NA1 motors. 270 horsepower. VTEC kicks in somewhere around 5,500 to 6,000 RPM, and it's the C30A motor essentially.
It sits on the back, which mid-engine.
Yeah, and that is the representation of what you would consider a supercar, right?
Yeah.
Perfectly well balanced, very stiff frame, and the motor sits just not necessarily right over the wheels, but evenly spaced along the length of the vehicle, but the weight is distributed very nicely. So I will say this car, for being the amount of power it has, feels just right.
Yeah.
And for the early 90s, for what it was in that day, these cars were amazing, super quick, handled very well, and kept up with the C6 Z06s, the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, and much more affordable and reliable in my opinion.
So right now Kavao is gonna pop the, well, it's not quite a frunk. What do you call this? A little hatch, I guess. Rear hatch.
The engine hatch. Yeah. Engine hatch.
So very cool. You said it's a
C30.
C30.
Motor. Yeah.
So 3-liter V6.
Correct.
And
5-speed transmission.
5-speed.
Yeah.
Didn't they do a 6-speed too in the 7 years?
Yeah. So the NA1 generation, I believe, starting in '95, or '96. When they had the Targa tops, they introduced the T-tops. They also introduced a 6-speed motor, 6-speed transmission, and 3.2-liter motor instead, which I think is very nice. But I kind of like the 5-speed with the
the flip-up light.
Yeah,
longer gears. Yep.
So
I personally love an NA1. I mean, you guys might have heard me say on the vlogs countless times, but I would love to own an NA1 NSX in red, a 92. 92 is my birth year, that's why. But yeah, so I would love to own one someday. Kavao actually swapped out wheel setups already. He had bronze T37s, just put on these white T37s. How long have you had the car?
So I actually purchased the car this past summer. So only a few months.
Wow,
yeah,
wow,
so only
okay.
a few months. And that's why, to my earlier note about comment about the previous owner did a lot of this work. And what I will do is continue to go down the path of getting this car down to 2,800 pounds. I think the NSXR is somewhere around 2,750 pounds. So if I could get this as close to that, I mean, in my opinion, like this is the ultimate daily driver that you can also take on spirited track drives or spirited canyon cruises or a track event. And that is the intent.
You say NSXR is kind of like the Type R version to the NSX?
Correct.
You know how many were made?
Oh, I don't.
Super
I
rare,
don't
right?
know. A few hundred of them.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Wow.
And,
more power, or is it just like an aero package?
Slightly more power, as what I understand, and also there's two different generations. There's the NSXR for this generation, the NA1s, and then there's the NA2 generation. But ultimately, what they did was more different suspension systems, and very, very lightweight. Okay. So, like you're not going to find a lot of the same commercially designed or packaged systems in the commercial manufacturer ones like this, and a lot of carbon fiber parts. And the shorter gear ratios too. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if we close the headlights now? So headlights, actually, we had it down for photos. Sure.
The hatch.
Yeah. We had photos with the headlights down at first, but then I was like, it's such a signature 80s and 90s look, so we had to have the flip ups for photos as well. But yeah, let's see. Actually, I'm curious to see how you flip. So you don't have to turn the car on, just accessory mode?
Nope. Yep. Okay. There's a little there's a little switch right here, and you just hit the switch.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Which is great,
so
right?
Super easy.
Yeah.
Wow. And this is so sleek. Oh man, I think the white wheels, the white TEs on the red is just perfect. Don't get me wrong, I love bronze wheels too, but there's something about this combination that does it.
Just pops.
Yeah. So recently, wheels were changed. So let's talk about the wheel and tire specs. I know some people are curious. From the factory, these are was it 17s staggered, 17s, 18s, or how did they go?
I believe it was 17 all around. I think yeah, 17s all around. Obviously, the tire fitments was staggered. Okay. But these are these are T37s finished in championship white. The fronts are 18 by 8.5, and the rears are 19 by 9.5. I really do like this staggered setup and the contrast that the white provides with the red. So this is more of my, I like to take these wheels for a car meet or more of like just a daily setup.
Yeah.
The bronze sets are both 18s. Obviously, though, the wheel sizes are staggered, but those are more for spirited drives or track events.
Sticky tires?
Correct. Yeah, okay. Sticky tires on those, like running Michelin Pilot Sports PS4s on the rear. And then running Toyo Crosses on the front. Very hard tire size to get a hold of. I will be swapping these out to a slightly wider tire, same brand, exact same model tire, just 235, go a little bit wider.
Okay.
And then along with the wheels, there will be suspension upgrades coming in the future as well. So right now they're sitting on BC coilovers. They're fully adjustable.
Okay.
But I will be swapping out to KWB. Here, so
okay,
a little bit more of a aggressive track setup.
Yeah, for sure. And then exterior wise, besides wheels, tires, coilovers, anything else is done? The wing setup?
Right. Yeah, and this is your pretty standard NSXR style carbon fiber. It's a side-bond wing with a Davis LED wing third brake light.
Okay.
And then obviously everything's been redone to instead of Acura, just badged as Honda.
Got it.
Yeah.
And is that diffuser? Is that off the market too?
Correct. That's the I believe that's the garage kite rear diffuser.
Very cool. And this thing sounds gnarly. So later on, we'll get some startup clips, we'll get some ride-along clips, but this thing sounds gnarly. I've never rode along the NSX, so I'm pretty excited to hear how it sounds. It sounds amazing just driving, just starting up. So I can't imagine with the engine right behind you, how's it gonna sound.
So you've got garage kite rear bowels, the rear bowels. Then I also have the Pride B2 RFL and Pride test pipes.
Okay.
So you'll really be able to hear the
Wake
car.
it up.
There's no cats. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the BC coilovers and Cybon carbon fiber wing, obviously. Yeah, and then the brake light was a Davis Design Fab. And then so we have some more engine dress up parts coming, and then so like the Mita red intake cover will be here soon, and then Kuya Automotive carbon fiber front lip will be here soon.
Very nice.
So
there'll be a revamped V2 look to this. Let's talk about the interior as well. You have some stuff done. Let's check that out. That's the little door handles right here. The NSX badging.
So most of what I've done for the interior is keep up with the maintenance. It's mostly OEM, except for the Recaro seats here, and these are the Recaro speed seats, and then it's got the Bride, JDM Bride seat rails. So it really puts you down to the floor, even lower, and gives you that vision, that line of sight out. But nothing fancy. Keeping the interior pretty OEM for right now. Got the original radio working. It's got a CD changer in the back too, which I will probably end up taking out just to save some more weight, right?
Yeah.
And so these are much heavier. While they're very comfortable, these Recaro speed seats, they're a bit heavier than I would like them to be. I think they're somewhere in the neighborhood of like 30 to 40 pounds versus I think the pole position ones from Recaro go down to like 15 pounds. Yeah, a lot lighter. So that'll come out, and then obviously the Momo NSXR style steering wheel.
Is the shift knob, is that OEM?
No, that's also like an NSXR style shift knob.
Okay. I love that. There's a little NSX badging right here. Wow, revs up to what? About 8,000? Almost 8,000?
Yep. Yeah, you'll notice the speedometer is in kilometers because it's a Canadian car.
Canadian. That's good. Cool. Wow.
So 3.5-4 years of searching for this car, and finally got it. And honestly, it's really just maintaining it and then continue to enjoy and drive it for as long as a car as I have it. Don't ever plan on selling it. So
that's amazing. And Kavao's a huge Honda guy. He actually has all the Hondas in the collection. We'll briefly talk about them. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to shoot like a full feature of all of them. They'll be badass. But do you mind kind of sharing like a little bit about what else you have?
I've also got a 2001 AP1 that's more of a just set up to go for the track road course, and it's got a half cage. I've also got an all original 2001 Acura Integra Type R, number 1098.
DC2?
And DC2.
Nice.
And that one's a project in the making. I'm really excited about that one because along with the NSX, the Type R was also like up there with like
a hero car, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In high school, you're like, and you would see Integras everywhere, but when you saw the Type R, you're like, oh man, it's a Type R. Like this
yep.
is, so growing up in the early 2000s, late 90s, like these were the cars you wanted, you know?
Yep. Wow, wow, that's so cool. And where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, I've got my social media handle is Casey's Garage,
right here.
KSIH _garage.
Share with us about, so recently he also set up a boba shop. I want to give a shout out to the boba shop. We'll be, hopefully be able to do some videos, some car events there, but tell us about your boba shop.
Yeah, my wife and I recently ventured into the small business franchise ownership world, and we just opened up a boba shop called Oh My Tea in the Round Rock Hutto area. And what it is just a slightly modern spin on classic Taiwanese tea and boba. The great part is that it's a small family-run business, and we partner with a Houston family that has several shops out there. and everything's locally sourced except for the the tea leaves that we have to get from Taiwan or Thailand.
Right.
But yeah, everything's locally sourced. We hire local. Super proud to be a Texas company that originated here. So yeah, come and check us out. We've got a grand opening on the 14th, and right now we're doing specials every day until then. So come check us out. We're right between the PNC Bank and the mattress firm off of Highway 79 and
It's
130.
Oh My Tea Hutto? Is that the...
Oh My Tea Hutto.
I'm gonna link it right here for the Instagram page.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm gonna wrap up the vlog with Kavao's NSX. Again, if you guys want to check him out, link to his socials. Make sure to stay tuned because we have the cinematic video for it as well. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.